Hey everyone, Pufuu here, and with Splatfest coming just around the corner in less than a week, I thought I would create the ultimate guide explaining how Splatfest in Splatoon 3 works and how you can better prepare yourself for the occasion, so you're not absolutely clueless once tricolor battles begin. Before we start off though, be sure to subscribe to the channel, we're almost at 20k. Now let's get into some quick facts. Number 1, Splatfest is now confirmed to be 48 hours long, with the exception of the premiere being 12 hours per region. Number 2, speaking of the Splatfest premiere, there's a total of 26 weapons you can try, and here are the ones confirmed at the moment. The Splatter Shot, Splat Roller, Splat Charger, Slosher, Heavy Splatling, Splat Dually, Splatbrella, Blasters, Ink Brush, Tri-Stringer, and the Splatana Wiper, making for a total of 11. And the remaining 15 weapons are likely the Splattershot Jr., NZAP 85, 96 Gal, E-Liter 4K, Classic Squiffer, Diamond Roller, Sloshy Machine, Hydro Splatling, Tetra Dually, Dapple Dualies, Undercover Bella, Octobrush, Range Blaster, Luna Blaster, and possibly the Splatana Stamper. These ones aren't confirmed, but it's pretty likely that they'll be included in the demo, since they were either featured in Splatfest footage or were promoted renders on Splatoon JP's Twitter. Number 3, according to idol lore found on the Japanese Splatoon website, Shivern Fry are from a class of noble family, as seen with their emblems. Fry's is based on an eel, while Shivers is based on a shark, as you all know by now if you watched my last video, which you should, by the way. Number 4, did you know that Big Man teaches at an ancient dance school? That finally gives us a clear explanation for why he has sick moves, and where his origins are from. Number 5, aside from being able to test out weapons early in the training room 2 days before Splatfest begins, you can actually battle against an AI dummy in the form of a hologram ghost. It's no dummy though, the thing will shoot back at you, so you'll be able to sharpen up your combat skills prior to Splatfest. Number 6, if you observe this clip here, it appears the Sprinkler of Doom covers this amount of turf. Not only that, but they're also indestructible and remain in place until the match ends. Number 7, once the first Ultra Signal gets secured and the Sprinkler of Doom is summoned, the second Ultra Signal will appear instantly afterwards. This also applies to failed attempts, so if you're smart about it, you can wait for the opposing team to be splatted while they're trying to secure the signal.
And then ambush the defending team while they're still distracted and damaged.
See that? Team Paper's clearly got in the bag with me on their side. Except I just spoiled my plans, so don't write that on paper. What am I even saying? Moving on. Number 8, and finally, with a total duration of 12 hours for the Splatfest, it looks like every stage might get a chance to be playable. 3 stages per rotation, 2 hours each, totaling to 6 rotations. Now that we've covered all the basic facts, let's move on to how tricolor battles actually work, based on all the current information available. So we'll split this section into 2 separate parts. The first part will cover the scenario in which you are on the defending team, and the second part will detail everything you need to do as the offensive team to regain control of the Ultra Signal. So, as the leading team, you're tasked with defending the Ultra Signal from being secured. And with that, you have 2 major advantages to your side. You both outnumber your opponents and spawn much closer to mid. Because your team consists of 4 players, you have more special and weapon variety combined. Not to mention the fact that you have more options for super jumping as well, unlike the team of 2 which only have 1 option. Additionally, you also have a higher ink output for your team's color that isn't stationary. Emphasis on the word stationary. These Sprinklers of Doom, or SOD for short, look like they'll cover quite a significant amount of turf, but they remain static for the entirety of the match, and are easily predictable. In the case that the opposing team ends up securing the Ultra Signal and summons the SOD, you could just stand near it and farm a bunch of specials. It's right by mid too, so it's free turf for you to build up your own special meter. Though I wouldn't bother covering any ink left by the SOD outside of special farming or map control until the final 20 seconds where it actually matters, since anything before that will just end up being covered anyways. Instead, focus your efforts in preventing the other team from securing the second Ultra Signal. There are some disadvantages you gotta watch out for though. The 2 opposing teams will likely squad up on you, and considering the fact that your spawn area is straight up mid, there's really no breathing room or home base you can depend on as you're squeezed right in the middle of battle. So if everyone is trying to get to mid, why not sneak off into one of the other 2 home bases? If you're confident that your team is able to handle mid, it might be wise to have 1 or 2 players advance onto the offensive side. To effectively do this, you want to wait for one of the 2 teams to attempt their efforts at grabbing the ultra signal. While they're in their vulnerable state, come out and ambush them. That leaves a team with a 1 member only, giving you the opening to advance one of your 2 teammates onto their side. The remaining 2 would stay mid to defend against the opposing team. So, with that method in mind, you'll be able to deny the attacking teams from summoning assistance, while also being able to advance into their territory. Now onto the second part where we cover the attacking teams. So before we dive into the attacking teams, don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the bell on. Okay, moving on. It might seem unfair to be a team of 2 fighting against 6 others, but it's not all doom and gloom if you put these strategies in place. The Ultra Signal is your best friend. You're going to want to secure it for both the extra clout given at the end of matches and for the additional map control. However, grabbing it won't be any easy task, so it's best for you to wait for the other 2-person team to make their attempts first, and either let the defending team deal with it or yourself. By playing the waiting game, you can initiate an attack after the defending team becomes occupied or partially damaged. So, now that you're on a roll to grab it, what should you do? Well, if you're running a kit that includes the big bubbler, it might be a smart move to use it where the signal is located. Then you can ensure that you won't get splatted during the activation phase. Subs and specials that contain location revealing capabilities like the point sensor, autobomb, ankle shooter, torpedo, and wave breaker will help identify if an approach is safe or not. But by far, the best advice is to make sure your teammate is by your side when you attempt the signal. There's no point in running in solo since you're completely vulnerable for a good 5 seconds, so having a teammate cover your back is almost a necessity. The only time you'll want to attempt the signal solo is when you know for certainty that no one will reach you within those 5 seconds. Now, you've probably heard of this advice a ton, but you need to ink your spawn! This is one of the biggest advantages of being a 2-member team that starts on the far opposite ends. You have areas that are difficult to access, and if you cover them fully, they'll add a few percentages to your total turf claim that will be vital in the final outcome. Because the defending team has their home base right in the middle, their area becomes easily accessible by both opposing teams, so focus on your own spawn point before you try overtaking mid. And that's mostly everything you'll want to consider once tricolor battles roll around. There are some other facts I didn't quite mention, like the 333x battles, festive shells, and how Splatfest results are calculated, but those things are pretty self-explanatory if you head over to the official Splatoon 3 website. Well, thanks for stopping by this guide, and I sure hope you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing to the channel. Let's try hitting 20k before Splat 3 releases. That would mean a lot to me. So until next time, Pufuu offline. Oh, wait. Just because you stayed until the end of this video, I have a little surprise. It's a voice dub of Deep Cut's introduction, so enjoy, I guess.
Hold it right there.
Huh? Who are you supposed to be?
We're not supposed to be anything. But I'll tell you who we are. Say with sizzle, I'm Forehead. I'm too cool to have gender, but you can call me Mirage.
Hey!
The Splatlands are our turf.
We may shit here.
We are D-Cut.